In this video, I'll be taking you through 5 ways to get Amazon to raise purchase orders for products in your catalog. For those of you who are new here, my name is Benjamin Bolshinsky. I used to work at Amazon in the vendor management team for almost 3 years, and now I run a company called Vendor Launch, where we work with Amazon vendors to increase their purchase orders. So without further ado, here are the top 5 ways that you can get Amazon to raise POs if they've stopped ordering some of your products. So I'll start with the kind of least useful, and I'll go to the most useful or the best way to get Amazon to raise POs for products. So make sure you stick around until the end. So number 5, you can always ask your vendor manager to place a manual PO, a manual purchase order, because usually Amazon's ordering system is automated, but a vendor manager can override that internally through a manual PO. Now, the common mistake that vendors do is they just demand Amazon to raise a purchase order for a product. But what they don't do, they don't tie it to an incentive or a KPI or a kind of a goal of the vendor manager, right? You want to make sure that you actually provide a reason as to why they should order the product from you. For example, ordering this product, raising a manual PO will mean that, Amazon will have a higher ASP, average selling price. Maybe it's priced a bit higher than your existing range. Or maybe there's a higher profitability margin, right? So getting this product in stock means you can help Amazon shift more sales or more volume from low margin or lower price products to these newer, higher margin or higher price products, right? Then they're more likely to raise a manual purchase order, right? Because you have to understand from Amazon's perspective, when they raise a manual purchase order, they are taking on risk, right? And so you want to kind of mitigate that risk from Amazon's perspective. Perhaps you want to point to some competitors, some FBA or some sellers that are ranging similar products, and so this is an opportunity for Amazon to stock that product in retail with you as a vendor, and that way they can get more customers kind of shopping from the vendor side versus that competitor seller product. So you want to kind of have an incentive. You want to be a bit more thoughtful as to how you ask your vendor manager to place that manual purchase order. But if this is done correctly, it's obviously very effective. Now, step number 4. The other way that you can get Amazon to raise POs for products they don't order is through a program called Born to Run. Basically, you specify the quantity, the product through the Born to Run program, and then Amazon will go ahead and raise the PO. The caveat here is that they may reserve the right to return the product if it doesn't sell through that quantity in 3 months. So just be mindful of that. But again, this can be an option as well. If you don't have Born to Run, you should enable it. The program otherwise is free. So it could be a good option. Now, if Born to Run doesn't work, then option number 3. You can add the product to direct fulfillment, which is Amazon's version of dropshipping. Now, what this will do is this will enable you to sell your product to consumers without having to wait for Amazon to raise POs, right? Why this is important is because after you sold a couple units, Amazon will then start to generate a sales forecast, right? And Amazon's ordering system is based on a customer sales forecast. So what you do is you add the product to direct fulfillment, you start selling some products, a couple units, maybe 10, 20, whatever it is. You ship those units from your warehouse to the customer. Then once you've generated sufficient forecast, again, you don't need that much, you disable that product from direct fulfillment, and then Amazon will then trigger Amazon to raise a purchase order from your retail vendor code, right? Because now the product has a sales forecast. Amazon don't want to miss any sales, and so they will then raise a PO from your retail vendor code. So this can be an option to get POs. as we move to number 2. So again, generate a sales forecast through advertising. So as I mentioned, you really, the point here is once Amazon systems has a sales forecast, then they will order the product, right? Because Amazon's ordering system, the POs that you get from Amazon, it's based on customer sales, right? If a customer wants to buy the product, Amazon will source the product to satisfy that customer demand. So here, instead of establishing a sales forecast through direct fulfillment, you're just establishing a sales forecast by getting more people to click on the product through advertising. So that's kind of what you do here. And then once you've generated a sales forecast, Amazon should then raise the PO from you. Now, this takes me to the most useful, perhaps, and the most interesting way of getting Amazon to raise a PO. This is what I call a dummy customer order. Basically, what you do is you get your customer account, right? You log in, whether it has Amazon Prime or it doesn't matter. Then you take your product and you buy it. You pretend that you're a customer and you buy your product. The more you buy in one transaction, the better, but really anywhere from 2 units to 5 units should be sufficient. So you place a customer order for 5 units. What then happens is in Amazon's system, they have unfilled customer demand, meaning they've got an outstanding customer order they need to fulfill, right? And how do they fulfill that customer order if they don't have stock? They raise a purchase order from you. So what happens is you place a dummy customer order, Amazon has a unfilled customer demand in their system, they then raise a PO from you. Usually it's anywhere from 1 week to 2 weeks, maybe sometimes a bit longer, but usually it's pretty quickly. And then once you receive that purchase order, this is the key thing. You then cancel your customer order, right? Because Amazon will invoice you as a customer. They will charge your customer account at the time that they ship the product from their warehouse to you, not at the time that you order it. So you wait until Amazon raises the PO. Once Amazon's raised a PO from your vendor account and you've dispatched that product to Amazon's warehouse, then you can cancel your customer order, and voila, you've got Amazon to raise a PO without having to take any financial risk or responsibility on your behalf. That's our secret tip. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section. Otherwise, have a great day, and I'll talk soon. Thank you. Bye.